Greetings, punks, goths, metalheads, herberts, herbetters, Martians and subterranean folk. How are you all doing? My name's John and welcome aboard. Well, today I'm really happy because I'm outdoors for a change. Hopefully the weather will stay dry. But I've not done an outdoor video for a little while now. I've done a few indoor videos and videos about music. So I'm glad to get out today because this is the main staple of what I do on this channel, is outdoors walking for well-being, as in your physical well-being and your mental well-being. Now I've also come out on this walk today because I want to test this new little drone that I've got. It's a DJI Neo. It's like a fairly low-cost drone, but it's supposed to be pretty good, so we'll test that out and hopefully it'll give another perspective of where I'm walking today. Where I'm walking, it's a local hill, it's Wild Bank, it's one of my favourite walks, and you know, it's the highest hill in Tameside, the area where I live, and it's pretty nice and it's a good walk to get away from it all. So should we get going? Yeah.
In the shadows where we whisper, echoes of a ghostly plea. With every chill that lingers, a haunting of calls out to me. Where does the darkness take us? In its nights we'll find our flame. Into the night together, bold hand in hand, glowing vampire eyes of the centuries lost. Where does the darkness take us? In its nights we find our flame. This gold heart feels such love. I thought you lost forever. Oh, this gold heart.
Now it is a little bit windy up here today for a little drone like this, but we'll see how we get on. Ideally it'd be a lot stiller, but you know, the weather, it is what it is, so we'll see. So we had all those heat waves recently, and it feels like up here on the moor with the wind, feels like we're back in autumn now. So have any of you guys got any gigs planned this year? Been looking for gigs. I had a quick look the other day. I've not had a proper look, and we got Fields of the Nephilim coming to Manchester. I think it's in, can't remember whether it's September or October, but I'll check that again. I might have that. I don't know about where you are in the world or wherever, but in the UK near me, all the water levels are getting quite low now, with all the heat waves we've had. So we do need a lot of rain to bring the water levels back up. I mean, it's not great for going out and getting out on hikes when it's raining, but we do need it for the reservoirs. We have had some rain, but not that much. So we'll start our climb up to the summit of Wild Bank Hill now. One of my favourite local walks and the path that I've travelled many times.
In the shadows where we whisper, echoes of a ghostly plea. With every chill that lingers, a haunting of calls out to me.
So I've seen a few things recently and on YouTube about people who mislabel goth as a fetish, and they're sort of promoting it as a fetish, and to me that's really wrong. Goth is a music based subculture, always has been, just as punk is a music based subculture. And metal is a music-based subculture, and I think it is really harmful to the subculture when people misread it as goth as a fetish, and or they try and sexualise it, because it starts creating a whole load of problems for people in the gothic subculture, especially for women, and they get viewed in the totally the wrong way. And then you get this argument, this is my favourite one, you get this argument that goth isn't a music-based subculture, and you know, goth comes from Gothic architecture, or the ancient Visigoth people who lived hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's got absolutely nothing to do with that. You know, it's nothing to do with that. Goth as a subculture is totally based on the music. That's just as ridiculous as trying to say, you know, metal fans, the original metal fans came from the Stone Age. After using stone tools like flint hand axes, they discovered how to make bronze, and then they became huge metal fans. And of course, as ridiculous as that sounds, and that's just as silly as saying, you know, the Gothic subculture came from Gothic architecture, or the Visigoth people of hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It's just not related. It's just things that people have Googled. In my view as well, I think people outside the Gothic subculture have tried to sexualise goth and fetishise goth women, because I think in a way they're kind of a bit intimidated by strong women in the goth scene. They're a bit scared, so they've sort of tried to make it safe by sexualising it and seeing it as a kind of fetish rather than the strong women that it is. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is, I think people have attempted to sexualise the Gothic subculture and fetishise it, as it's kind of sanitising it and making it safe, rather than something, you know, that's a bit edgy and maybe that they don't understand. So they just try to put it in a box that they understand, if that makes sense, guys. So the videos that I'd seen online with people talking about it being a problem, what they were mainly annoyed about is people hashtagging goth in their video descriptions and then totally misrepresenting what goth is about. Now, I think you can wear what you want. You don't have to listen to goth music. You can wear black gothic style clothes if you want, but if you're acting a certain way that's misrepresenting goth and then hashtagging it goth, I think the point that we're trying to make is that people might come to this and think that's what goth's about, or you know, you might get people getting the wrong idea about goth and then coming up to people in the goth subculture with the wrong sort of ideas. And you know, I mean, I'm 53, I've been around a long time, and you know, if you've been around a bit, you'll know there's all sorts of creeps that'll try and latch on to women and guys as well, so you don't want to be inviting more of that. And just on the reverse of what I was just saying, you could get some people who don't dress goth at all, or in a style to be perceived as goth, but they're still in the goth subculture because they like the goth music. You know, they go to the goth gigs and support the goth bands, so they are goths, but they might not dress goth. So there's all sorts of different sides to this, but it's a bit patronising when a subculture such as goth gets, you know, sexualised and fetishised as merely that sort of thing rather than what it actually is. So we're not too far from the summit of the hill now, and should get a nice view when we get up there. So just coming up to the summit of the hill now with the trig point placed on top of an old Bronze Age burial mound. They used to bury people in the Bronze Age in high up places a lot of the time, places where people could be seen, so the grave mound would be seen for miles all around.
In the shadows where we whisper, echoes of a ghostly plea. With every chill that lingers, haunting of calls out to me. Where does the darkness take us? In its nights we'll find our flame. Into the night together, bold hand in hand, glowing vampires of the century.
I was a bit scared of sending my drone up then, it was so windy up here. It's done well though for a little drone. It's only a DJI Neo. So I'm going to walk a slightly different way back than I usually do today. But try a different route. So it's really quiet here today. Really peaceful. If you've got anxiety, it can really help calm you down a bit. And if you've got depression, being outdoors in nature and green places in the natural world, it can be really uplifting for your mood. As well as being great for you physically as well. It is lovely being outdoors and having all this space, you know, and all this quiet in nature. And that is one of the great things about being outdoors and doing your walking and exercise outdoors as opposed to a gym. That being said, there are some sort of natural beauty spots that are getting a lot of foot traffic, and because of Instagram and TikTok and people sharing it on there, there's more and more people going, and it's become like a social media buzz place. One of them's Mamtor near Castleton, and honestly, some of the videos I've seen, it's just got like flocks of people, crowds of people, and that'd be my version of hell, going there basically when it's that busy. And there's another place that's got quite busy, but not to the extent of Mamtor, and that's the Trinical near Dovestones. Now that one's sadly become popular, but there's a lot of people going up there who aren't prepared for it. It's not like Mamtor when it's fairly easy. The Trinical can be quite dangerous, and they've had mountain rescue out there quite a few times because of accidents, because of people wanting to get the social media photos and stuff because everyone else is doing it, you know, and they've gone sadly woefully ill prepared and ended up, you know, having accidents and mountain rescue going out. So yeah, there is that with social media. You know, some of these beauty places have become buzz spots. I'd appreciate it if you could let me know in the comments below if you know of any other places, beauty spots that have become sort of social media buzz places, and if you let me know, I'll avoid them. To be fair and to be honest, I can't blame people for wanting to get outdoors and go to beautiful places. I think it's good if people do want to get outdoors, but you need to really be careful and check up on safety. You know, are you fit enough? And there's a whole list of things you need to be checking before you're going out. And start off going out to really easy, you know, beginner level places before you tackle anything more challenging. Because safety has got to be your number one thing. And you can always work up to the more challenging things.
In the shadows where we whisper, echoes of a ghostly plea. With every chill that lingers, a haunting of calls out to me. Where does the darkness take us?
So I'll just show you my new drone in a minute. Not thought of a name for it yet. I'm going to name it. If you've got any ideas for names, let me know in the comments below. Could call it Kez, after the film Kez. Or if you're a fan of the Dark Crystal, I like that bit when they go, "Crystal bats to the sky." So I could call it Crystal Bat. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. So this is my little drone. One of the buying points for this is you can use it without a phone. You've not got to be messing around with a controller or a phone. You can set it all from the drone itself. And It's like a vlogger's drone for taking out on hikes and walks or when you're out and about. So there you go.
Shadows where we whisper, echoes of a ghostly plea. With every chill that lingers, a haunting of calls out to me. Where does the darkness take us? In its nights we'll find our flame.
So I'm going to wrap this video up in a moment because I'm almost back at the beginning of the walk. So thanks for coming along with me today. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe. Really helps grow the channel. And until the next video, don't forget, be different, stay weird and stay free. Bye now.